to kind of set the landscape of where everything is in the business at this time, kind of getting into this was actually a big time for many reasons. First being we are in the thick of the steroid trial and stuff, the WWF. Inside Edition and 2020 both ran pieces on the issue. Among the most damaging parts were superstar Billy Graham and David Schultz, both talking about Hulk Hogan's excessive steroid use. They also showed FedEx receipts of packages sent from Dr. Zahorian to Hulk Hogan, as well as showed clips of Hogan's various interviews where he lied and contradicted himself. Speaking of Dr. Zahorian, he was finally sentenced to 3 years in federal prison, 2 years of probation for each of the 12 counts, and a $12,700 fine and forfeiture of his $3.7 million office/condo. So crap's kind of hitting the fan right now. Obviously, we know that nothing is going to happen to Vince McMahon. They're going to, rule that he had nothing to do with this. It was all through the doctor who did get convicted. You were kind of too young to even pay attention to any of this, right?
Yeah, I literally have no memory of this, as it was happening.
Yeah, everything I know about it, obviously, I was not even 2 years old at this time, so I don't know anything like this, but I've seen enough, retrospect and whatever, and I've heard enough interviews to know this was something, man. This big deal, and some people thought that old Vinnie Mac there was gonna ship off to the clink, but it did not happen. And hey, Jerry Jarrett didn't have to take over the company.
Thank God.
I still don't know if that's true or not. I will say this, however, the only person I know of...
Bruce Pritchard said it was going to happen.
I've heard Bruce Pritchard, on his podcast, they asked him, and he said no. He was brought in as a consultant. There was no way in hell he was going to take over the company. There wasn't even a chance of that. So, I don't know.
Well, there was a shoot interview where he said he was ready to take over. I don't know if that meant that then. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's the only person I've ever heard contradict that Jerry Jarrett was going to be the next in line to take over for Vince, though. Everybody else that I've heard interviews for, and you can take them with a grain of salt, whatever, but they've all kind of said it's like, yeah, Jarrett was brought in to take over. Vince, got arrested, but didn't happen. Well,